Hello children. So today we are going to continue with introduction to non-metals. Yesterday we have covered till properties of physical and chemical properties of metals. So today we are going to continue with introduction to non-metals. So we'll see what are non-metals. Non-metals, what are non-metals? Okay. Non-metals are those elements which have 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the valence shell. Okay. These are called as non-metals. Means non-metals will be there. It will be containing only 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons will be there in the valence shell. See, for example, this is an atom and it contains some valence shells. In that valence shells, electrons will be there, isn't it? So that will be 4, 5 or 6 or 7 it will be. It won't be more than 8 because 8 will be coming under noble gas. So it is that non-metals are those elements which have 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the valence shell. So these electrons that we call it as non-metals. Okay. So these are the things that we call it as non-metals. We will neglect or the negative sign will be taken. So how it will be? How to calculate negative signs? So it will be minus. It will be subtracted from 8. Okay. It will be subtracted from 8. Say for example, 4 is minus subtracted by 8. So we'll get the answer minus 4. Similarly for 5, minus 8 will get minus 3. For 6 we'll get 6 minus 8, it will be minus 2. And 7 minus 8, it will be minus 1. So this is how we get the valence. And these are the valence electrons that comes under minus negative charges will be there, no? So those negative charges of elements or electrons, we call it as non-metals. Okay. So these are non-metals. How we are going to consider? Non-metals are those elements which have 4, 5, 6 or 7 electrons in the valence shell. For those shells we call it as non-metals. So what again? They always gain electrons. Non-metals always gain electrons. This is electrons. Okay. This is electrons. It form electronegative in metals, whereas it was losing electrons and it was gaining electropositive, whereas in non-metals it is just the opposite of it. They always gain electrons, but they form electronegative ions. Okay. Whereas when they gain electrons, they form electronegative sign. So it comes electronegative sign will be coming. Electronegative signs will be coming over there. Okay. So this is how we come across for non-metals. Similarly, we have physical properties of non-metals. So physical properties of non-metals, let's see what we are going to study in this. So in physical properties of metals, non-metals, we have non-malleable, non-ductile, poor conductor of heat and electricity, non-porous and non-lustrous. So these are the things that we are going to study under physical properties of non-metals. Okay children, in physical properties of metals we were studying malleable, ductile, good conductor of heat and electricity, sonorous and lustrous. Whereas here for physical properties of non-metals we are studying non-malleable, non-ductile, poor conductor of heat and electricity and non-sonorous, non-lustrous. Clear? These are the things that we are going to study in physical properties of non-metals. So let us see firstly what is non-malleable. Non-malleable means non-metals or non-malleable. Non-metals will be there, no? That we are going to call it as non-malleable. Okay. Because they cannot be beaten into thin sheets as they are brittle. Okay. Non-metals cannot be beaten. It cannot be beaten easily. Okay children. It cannot be beaten easily with a hammer. Brittle is the meaning of brittle. You may ask that what is brittle, ma'am? Brittle means which cannot be beaten with hammer. Okay, for this we call it as brittle. Okay children, non-metals are non-malleable, means that cannot be beaten with thin sheets, that cannot be beaten. Say for example, as we told, this is a hammer. If we beat, it will become thin sheets. Those are metals. So here, if we beat also, it won't be becoming as thin sheets. So that we call it as non-metals or non-malleable. Non-metals are the non-malleable. Okay. So we do have some examples for this. Let us see what examples are those. So that is phosphorus, the example which cannot be beaten into thin sheets, and sulfur also. These are non-metals which cannot be beaten into thin sheets. Okay. Similarly, these non-metals are powderous. These two will be in powderous form. Powderous form. Okay. Small particle it will be. So it cannot be made into thin sheets. Non-malleable means non-metals are powders. So it cannot be made into sheets. Okay, got it? These two are in powderous form, which cannot be made into sheets. Clear? So it clearly says that non-malleable means it is non-beatable. Okay, it is non-beatable into thin sheets. So this is enough to recall. Okay, what does non-malleable means? Non-malleable means that cannot be beaten into thin sheets. Isthe. Okay. Hammer ಇಂದ ಹೊಡೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀಟಾಗಿ thin sheet ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it is metals. Hammer ಇಂದ ಹೊಡೆಯೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗದೇನೆ thin sheets ನ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ those are called non-metals. Non-metals of non-malleable. Got it? So now let us move on to non-ductile. So what is non-ductile? It is similar as it is. Non-metals are non-ductile. Means because they cannot be converted or melted into thin wires. Non-metals are non-ductile because they cannot be melted. Okay. This non-ductile ಏನದಲ್ಲ, this cannot be melted. This cannot be melted and drawn into thin wires. Whereas in metals we were doing it as thin wires. In non-ductile non-metals we are not gonna make it as thin wires. This cannot be made into thin wires. Got it? For such reasons we call it as non-ductile. Non-metal are those non-ductile because they cannot be melted. They cannot be melted. Agade illa melt ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. And they cannot be drawn into thin wires. Okay. Like this we cannot make thin wires. Clear? So now let us see poor conductor of heat and electricity. So moving on to poor conductor of heat and electricity, that is non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity as they do not have free electrons. It means that non-metals will be there which are poor in conductor. So this cannot be used for electricity because these are poor conductor of heat and electricity where it cannot resist the heat. Non-metals they are not able to resist the heat and electricity. They are not capable in resisting. So for that reason we call it as poor conductor. Okay. Non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity as they do not have free electrons. Okay children, free electrons means they are not having free mobile. As we told earlier, that is free electrons means mobile characters. For mobile characters we say free mobiles. Okay. Mobile andre it is not the cell phones that we use. Mobile means they do not have free mobile electrons, we call it as. Okay. In scientific way of chemical reactions we call it as free mobile electrons. Got it children? That will be poor conductor. Clear? So this will be a poor conductor which cannot be used for electricity. But In some exceptional cases, exceptional cases, okay, graphite can be used. Graphite can be used as a good conductor, whereas it is a non-metal, but in exceptional cases we can use as graphite, okay, as it is an allotrope of carbon, as it is good conductor because of its special crystalline, okay. Crystalline means shining will be there, isn't it? Say for example, when you sharp a pencil, okay, when you sharp a pencil, what happens? It shines, isn't it? Because of that character, sometimes it may be in exceptional case we can use graphite as good conductor of heat and electricity, okay. It clearly says that poor conductor of heat and electricity is that non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity, and they do not have free electrons. Free electrons irala to move or to have moving nature in electricity. Got it? But in exceptional cases we have graphite, okay. This is the graphite that in exceptional cases we can have this. And now let us move on to non-sonorous, okay. Non-sonorous means non-metals do not make any sound, whereas metal makes sound, isn't it? That is why we call it as sonorous. But here non-sonorous means non-metals do not make any sound. Non-metals are not gonna make any sound, okay, when they hit with an object. Say for example, this is an object. If I am beating or hitting this object, it doesn't make any sound. So for that we call it as non-sonorous. Thus non-metals are non-sonorous, okay. The metals which do not make sound means that is non-sonorous. Easy children, don't get confused. Metals sound madidre it is sonorous. Metals which does not make sound means it is non-metals. That is non-sonorous. Got it? Similarly, we have example for this non-sonorous. That is phosphorus, okay. Phosphorus is a non-metal which does not make sound when it is hit with an object. Clear children? So it is so easy that non-sonorous is that which doesn't make sound. So which doesn't make sound by when it is hit by an object, that we call it as non-metals or non-sonorous. Clear? Now let us move on to non-lustrous, okay. What is the meaning of non-lustrous that we are gonna see now? Non-lustrous means non-metals are in the form of powder and gas, okay. Non-metals are in the form of powder and gas. This will be in form of powder, okay. Small particles, small particles it will be, which are non-metals will be there in the form of powder and gas, okay. Hence they cannot be polished and do not have any luster. Means lustrous means we know that shine, isn't it? Lustrous means shine. When there is no shine in a metal, that we call it as non-lustrous, okay. When metal ide andre aa metal ge shine ide andre ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ lustrous ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. When a non-metal is there means it doesn't contain any shine. For that we call it as non-lustrous. Got it? Anything which does not, any non-metal which does not give shine, for that reasons we call it as non-lustrous. Got it? Non-metals are in the form of powder and gas. It will be formed in powder and gas. Hence they cannot be polished and do not have any luster. This cannot even be polished, okay. Non-metals which cannot be polished. Got it? But again here as similar to non-sonorous, here also we do have some exceptional cases, okay. That is exceptional cases means iodine, salt, okay. Salt is shiny, which is crystalline in nature. It will be shiny, okay, isn't it? Similarly again graphite means pencil lead will be there, no, that will be shiny in nature. These two are the exceptional cases. ಕೆಲವೊಂದೊಂದು exceptional cases ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So in that exceptional cases, non-lustrous non-metals are in form of non-lustrous which even gives shine, okay. This is in exceptional cases. but most of the non-metals do not give shine. Clear, children? Most of the non-metals do not give shine. There is no reflection, because shine idra we get reflections, isn't it? But here in this case there won't be any reflection. They do not shine. That is, there is no reflection and there is no shine as well. Shine irala, reflection irala. For such we call it as non-lustrous. Got it? So now let us move on to low melting and boiling point. Okay, now let us move on to low melting and boiling point. That is, all non-metals have low melting and boiling point. Okay, pratiyondu non-metals ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, they have some low melting and boiling points. So whereas in the case of metals we were seeing that it is high melting and high boiling points, but here it is low melting and boiling point, because non-metals doesn't carry out high melting and boiling point. It is carried over with all non-metals have low melting and boiling point. Okay, non-metals ಏನಿದೆ, those will be carrying over low melting. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ high melting ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, and it is having low boiling points as well. So we can say that non-metals, the question may arise like this: does non-metals have high melting point? Then you have to say no, all non-metals have low boiling and melting point. Okay, children? So don't get confused. Pratiyondu non-metal go, it will be having low melting and boiling points. They never can be high melting points. Again here, in some exceptional cases, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು exceptional cases ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so such as diamond. Diamond is a exceptional case where it can be taken with high melting and high melting point and boiling point. These are the exceptional cases. Got it? It can be taken over high melting point and boiling point. So now let us move on to solid, liquid or gas. So is it what that we need to study here? Solid, liquid or gas. Non-metals can be in the form of either solid or liquid or gaseous. Anything. Gaseous means gas form. So gaseous means gas form at room temperature. Okay, non-metals ಏನಿದೆ, the non-metals which we have, that can be in the form of solid, liquid or gas. Clear? So non-metals can be in form of solid, liquid or gas. It will be at room temperature. So let us take some examples. So the some examples which I have taken here are phosphorus, bromine and nitrogen. Whereas phosphorus is a solid, this is a non-metal which is in solid form, and bromine is a non-metal which is in liquid form, and nitrogen is a non-metal that we take it in the form of gas. Okay, children? This will be in solid form. Andre solid ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Anything that say for example this is a solid. Okay, this is a solid, means it has some mass. Okay, liquid means which will be in watery nature. Liquid, got it? Liquid ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, liquid in nature. Gas means that is nitrogen we have, that is gas. These are non-metals that can be in form of three types, that is solid, liquid and gas at room temperature. And we have some three examples, that is phosphorus, bromine and nitrogen. So next we have some physical properties of non-metal as well, isn't it? As how we have physical and chemical properties for metals, similarly we should have some physical and chemical properties for non-metals. It is so easy with some 2 points, that's it. That is, chemical properties of non-metals are, it takes place with reaction of non-metals with oxygen. Okay, reaction of non-metals with water and dilute acids. Does it work? These two works. That's what we are going to see in this topic. Okay, reaction of non-metals with oxygen. So reaction of non-metals with oxygen we are gonna see now. That is, non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metal oxide. Is that possible? The question may arise like this. Is a non-metal can form a non-metal oxide? Let us see whether it is possible or not. Okay. So it is that. Let us take some non-metal. Nm means non-metal, children. Don't get confused. Nm means non-metal which is combining with, reacts with oxygen, O2. Okay. Non-metal is combining with oxygen, that is O2, to give the form non-metal oxide. Isn't it? Non-metal oxide it has to give. So non-metals reacts with oxygen to form non-metal oxides. So non-metal is reacting with oxygen to give non-metal oxide, NMO. In the short form I have written. In nature, non-metal oxide are acidic in nature. That is to turn blue litmus. So using litmus paper we will see whether it is acidic or in basic in nature. Okay. So let us take some examples. So let us take some examples for this. That is, I am here taking as carbon. Carbon is a non-metal, we know that, and oxygen, which is reacting to give carbon dioxide. Okay, CO2. Similarly, S plus O2, which give rise to form SO2, and N plus O2, that is nitrogen plus oxygen, which gives rise to form nitrogen oxide. Clear, children? So it contains C double bond O, means CO2 is here. In chain form I have written. Okay. These are the just examples for reactions of non-metals with oxygen. Children, don't get confused. Don't get confused with metals and non-metals. This cannot be done. For that reasons we are just taking an example with very light briefs. Okay. Reaction of non-metals with water and dilute acids. We need to even take care of reactions of non-metals with water and dilute acids. Being less reactive, they do not react with water. Okay, non-metals being less reactive, isn't it? Non-metals are those which are less in reactive. So they do not react with water and dilute acid, as they cannot reduce hydrogen. Sorry. They do not reduce hydrogen. Whereas in metals hydrogen gas was liberating, isn't it? H2 gas was liberating, or as H2 gas was releasing. But here in non-metals it cannot be happened. Okay. Being less reactive, they do not react with water and dilute acid, as they cannot reduce hydrogen. So the next point for this is, they do not have sufficient electrons. Yes, we have to agree with that. Non-metals do not have sufficient electrons. So non-metals ge sufficient electrons namge ಏನು ಸಿಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಆ sufficient electrons ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Got it? To reduce hydrogen. So some examples for this also, that is carbon reacting with water to give rise to form. How can it be? So for example, carbon is a non-metal. Can it have some reactions? So it cannot have some reactions. It cannot have reactions. So there won't be any reaction. Similarly, let us take one other, that is carbon reacting with H2SO4, sulfur. So again, carbon is a non-metal and this cannot have some reaction. So again it is no reaction. Okay. So reaction of non-metals with water and dilute acids is that, because it is less reactive, they do not react with water and dilute acid, and they cannot reduce hydrogen. Clear, children? So far we have completed till introduction to metals, physical and chemical properties of metals, and introduction to non-metals, physical and chemical properties of non-metals. So tomorrow we'll continue with the next topic. Okay. Thank you so much.